The courtroom was packed that morning, buzzing with whispers, judgment, and cold stares. A single man stood by the defense table, dressed in a plain shirt and worn-out shoes, hands clasped behind his back. His eyes didn't hold arrogance or guilt, only a quiet strength, the kind that comes from years of fighting battles no one else could see. No one knew his story, at least, not yet. To everyone else, he was just another defendant, just another name on the docket. But when the judge finally looked down at the file and read his name aloud, the room froze. The gavel trembled in the judge's hand. "Wait, Sergeant Daniel Cole," he whispered, and in that instant, the silence swallowed the courtroom whole. "Before we unfold what happened next, I want you to stay till the end of this story, because it's not just about justice. It's about truth, sacrifice, and the kind of courage that never seeks applause. If you believe real heroes walk among us, then you'll want to hear this to the very last second. And if you do, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and join us, because stories like these remind us all that even the strongest fall, and rise again." Daniel Cole had lived a life most couldn't imagine. A decorated combat veteran, widowed young, raising his little girl Lily on his own. After serving 15 years, he came home with scars you couldn't see, nightmares, quiet moments where the world felt too heavy. But he never let the weight crush him. He worked hard, volunteered at the VA hospital, helped other vets find their footing. Yet life has a cruel way of testing even the best souls. One evening, as Daniel picked Lily up from her school's art fair, a car in the parking lot sped by too close. He shouted, instinctively grabbing a little boy who'd wandered onto the road. The driver, a young businessman with more ego than sense, slammed the brakes and stormed out, yelling that Daniel had attacked him. A crowd gathered. Phones came out. Someone filmed half the incident, missing the part where Daniel saved the boy's life. And soon, a twisted story hit social media: veteran assaults local business owner. No one wanted the truth. They wanted headlines. And before he could even process what was happening, Daniel was arrested in front of his daughter, Lily crying as the cuffs clicked around her father's wrists. He didn't fight. He didn't argue. He just whispered to her, "It's going to be okay, sweetheart." Days turned into weeks. The media spun its story. The businessman, Elliot Graves, had influence, friends in high places, and enough money to make noise. Daniel, meanwhile, refused to badmouth anyone or play the victim. He believed the truth would win. But as the trial began, it felt like the deck was stacked against him. The prosecutor painted him as unstable, a man haunted by war, prone to anger. They even hinted at PTSD, twisting it into a weapon. The gallery whispered, some pitying, most judging. Lily sat quietly behind him, clutching a worn photo of her parents, her mother in uniform, smiling. Then came the moment. The judge entered, an older man, known for his stern approach. He shuffled through the case files, not looking up, reading the charges in a low monotone. But when his eyes landed on the defendant's name, his voice caught mid-sentence. "Defendant, Sergeant First Class Daniel Cole, Silver Star, Bronze Star with Valor, Navy Cross nomination," he stopped. Slowly, he looked up, and for the first time, the mask of neutrality cracked. "Sergeant Cole, is that you?" The courtroom fell dead silent. Daniel blinked, unsure how to respond. The judge rose slightly, setting his glasses down. "I remember you," he said softly. "Kandahar, 2010. You pulled my unit out after the convoy strike. You saved my life." Gasps rippled through the room. The prosecutor froze mid-page. Even Elliot Graves shifted uncomfortably. Lily's eyes widened, a flicker of hope returning to her tear-streaked face. The judge exhaled, gathering himself. "Everyone, we'll take a short recess," he announced, voice trembling. "Court is adjourned for 10 minutes. He stepped down, walked toward Daniel, and for a brief moment, the roles reversed, one man who'd once given orders now saluting the soldier who'd saved him. When they reconvened, everything changed. The judge ordered the full video footage from nearby cameras, something the prosecution hadn't bothered to present. The truth surfaced, clear, undeniable. Daniel hadn't attacked anyone, he'd saved a child. The so-called victim had been speeding, distracted by his phone. Elliot's face drained of color as the footage played. The crowd, once murmuring accusations, now sat in stunned silence. The judge's voice was steady when he finally spoke. Sergeant Cole, on behalf of this court and this community, you are not only innocent. You are a hero. Case dismissed. Lily burst into tears, running into her father's arms. Daniel knelt, holding her tight, eyes wet but proud. The courtroom stood, one by one, in quiet respect. Even the prosecutor approached with an apology, her voice breaking as she said, "We judged you before we knew you." As they walked out together, Lily looked up at her dad. "You told me the truth always wins." Daniel smiled softly. "It might take time, sweetheart. But yes, it always does." That night, news outlets corrected their stories. People online who had once mocked him shared the truth, humbled by the revelation. But Daniel didn't care for fame. He only cared that his daughter could look at him without fear, that the world saw him as what he'd always been, a father, a protector, a man who never gave up on honor. And as he carried Lily out into the sunlight, one truth lingered: the battles may change, but real warriors never stop fighting for what's right.